Hey, hi everyone. Welcome to the my YouTube channel, which is Next Gen AI with Sai. So today we are going to see one of the popular agentic system library called as Autogen, provided by the Microsoft. Uh, we are not going in depth, but we will understand some of the part of Autogen, some introductory part, and then we will have one use case. We will build we will, with the help of that use case, we will write some Python code and we'll see how it works. Okay, so it is a kind of introductory but and mostly hands-on session. Okay, if you feel we need to go depth, please feel free to comment in the comment section so that I'll work on that and we'll go more and more depth. So before going, let's understand what is Autogen. Okay, so Autogen is a open source platform uh, that enables to create a collaborative AI agents. Okay, and these AI agents work together to accomplish some task through the group chat. So this is Autogen is provided very nice documentation. So I'll think let's jump to that documentation and we will walk you through. I will walk you through on that topic. So this is what the first page. When you search on the Autogen, currently they are having 0.2 version. It's an open source framework, programming frameworks for agentic AI. You know that nowadays the era to build a agentic system using the large language model. Some year back, I think 1 year back, we just built a normal rack kind of system where we will fetch some of the information from your vector database, and then that data along with your query we will give the output to the users. But now things are changed, right? uh, Now we want that some important tasks to be done by the LLM, okay, by the agents, and they work collaboratively. So we are moving steps ahead, and I feel that the 2025 era is completely a agentic kind of. So it is a good time to learn some of the popular agentic AI framework, and this is a kickstart of this video. So please watch till end if you don't know about the agentic stuff hands on. So I would urge to watch, and I'm giving one notebook. I will walk you through the notebook, download this notebook and play with that. Okay, so this is one of the popular Autogen uh, agentic framework. Okay, so it's a multi-agent conversation framework. Multi-agent means you have multiple agents and those agents can talk to each others. Second, easy build and diverse application. So it's a really nice application. So you can build a multiple applications from various domains. So nowadays you can have agents for the code conversation. So you can have multiple agents for code generation, creation, and checking. Even you can use Autogen for the various applications. For example, a software development or the architecture development. We will see in bit. Then this is an enhanced LLM inference and the optimization. So it's LLM supports multiple. So this Autogen supports multiple LLM model, not the OpenAI, but it also supports the open source model like Llama, Gemma, and multiples. Okay, in today's session, I will walk you through how to build this agentic using the Llama 3.2. Okay, and it's absolutely free. Okay, so let's walk you through some of the information before we deep dive into that. So as I mentioned, this Autogen, it's a unified multi-agent conversational framework. Okay, it's a high level abstractions. So they already giving one package. Using that package you can build and you can do the orchestration of the works. Majorly these agents kind of fall into the two category. One is the just let me use my pen. Okay. So these agents, it's basically two type of agent. One is the conversable agent and another is a customizable agent. So when I conversable agent, it means that these autogens means these agents can send and receive message from other agents and continue their conversation. When I say customizable, it means that these agents can be customized to integrate with LLMs, humans, tools, and many other parts. Okay, so you can have these two type of agents in the Autogen. Now let me walk you through this architecture. So if you look at this kind of architecture we have, okay, it's a conversational agent. It has a three type of agent. One is assistant agent, user proxy agent, and the group chat agent. So what basically it does that, this conversational agent, in which assistant agent is something that which with the help of LLM it will do the action. Okay, so actually first initially this conversational agent has all the functionality, means it has LLM, it has human inputs, you can use tools here. Okay, so these many things you can integrate in this conversational agent, and then it will talk to your user proxy agent. So user proxy agent is a something that you can have your Python code and a human input. Okay, you can make as by default is false, but you can make as always if required. But sorry, so human input mode is always in the user input, so it's a starting point, and through the Python code or human input you can start this user proxy agent, and then it will redirect it to this assistant agent to group chat manager. So what is group chat manager? The group chat manager is a something, a group of assistant agent. Now if you look at this diagram, it has a LLM, right? This LLM, so along with the this assistant agent. So who actually perform your work? The assistant agent will perform your work instructed by this user proxy agent and through the group chat manager. Okay, so we will see in a bit how this works collaboratively. Once we walk through the Python code, you will understand how this Autogen has. But I hope you initial understand how this. For example, if you see the default system message in conversational agent is that you are a helpful AI assistance in the following case, such as the Python code, right? Human input is never, so you do need to do the input mode, and the code execution false, so it will generate the code, but the code execution is false, and the human input here never, and you can mention the what kind of. So this is the some Python code which you can say that these are the assistant agent you have to mention in the group chat. And the user proxy agent, it's the initial proxy agent which always receive the human input or the Python code. So I hope I am able to explain you how this Autogen architecture altogether interact with each other. Okay, so let me go with, okay, so as I mentioned, the definition already given here. So let me say, so this is the assistant agent is designed to act as a AI assistant using LLM by default, but not require a human input or the code execution in an AI assistant. However, in user proxy, it's a proxy agent for human. Okay, it's soliciting the human input as the agent reply at each interaction turn by default. Okay, and having this capability of the execution of the code. So this is the nice documentation. The documentation of this Autogen is heavily available. Okay, means lot of information is available in the documentation. Okay, so I would urge you can walk you through all this documentation. uh, um, it is not that much easy to read, but yeah, but this documentation is very nice as compared to other, and it supports multiple platforms. Okay, so let me go back to our presentation. What we are going to build today using this Autogen. So this is what the something we are going to build using the Autogen. You can look at this is the user. Okay, sorry. Okay, so this is the user. Take the pencil. Okay, so we have this user will give the business requirement to our proxy agent. Proxy agent, we are keeping this as a head of architecture. Okay, then it will initiate the chat, and this initiate chat will go to the group chat manager. Okay, group chat manager is a composition of these three agent. One is cloud architect, second is the OSS architect, okay, and the next is the lead architect. Okay, now this proxy agent, when it initiate chat, it will first go to the proposal. Okay, so it will ask the cloud architect, please make a proposal for me. Once the proposal is done, it pass to the OSS architect. So whatever the open source softwares are available, okay, it will build the architect and then send back this proposal to the head of the architect through the group chat manager. Okay, and finally there is a lead architect who will review the open source architect and the cloud architect and give our final proposal to the head of the architect. So this is what the our multi-agent conversation will happen. Okay, I hope you understand that what are these things we are going to build in a multi-agent conversation. Okay, so I really want to thanks to Tony. With the reference of this Medium article, I'm able to build the Python code, and this Medium article helps to build uh, this able to explain the Autogen. Okay, so thanks to Tony, and this is the reference article. I'm going to upload this PPT so that you can refer next. Okay, let's not wait much more. Okay, and directly jump to this notebook. Okay, so to build, you can connect to simple CPU based CPU of uh, of this notebook, Google Notebook. Okay, then you can install the PyAutogen library here. After the installation of PyAutogen library, we are going to use the Groq here. Okay, so what is Groq? Let me explain you. In my earlier video also I have used Groq. Okay, because now we know that if you want to use the GPT model or any GPT model, we need to pay something, right? But if you want to build this freely, then we can use this Groq. The Groq is a uh, they are providing their own type of faster inference, AI inference things. Okay, you can log in, you can create your own user ID here, and they build their they upload, they have their own I mean to say the llama LLM model. Okay, so they already uploaded the model here, so you can see it's a llama 7b 2 9b llama 3 all these open source are model heavily. So advantage of using the Groq, you don't need to use Olama or any other um, platform to run all these heavy model locally. So you can save your local machine CPU utilization. So already almost most of the popular model is available in the Groq. Okay, so it is works like similarly how the chat GPT works. Okay, so you can select any of the model. You also need to log in, and there is a API key you need to configure. This API key will help us to use the particular model. Okay, so we are using, so that's what, but for that we need to install the Groq Python library, then only we can able to use it. Once done, I have already stored my Groq API key here, as you can see. Okay, so in the secrets, if you go, you can mention all your key here, and using that, we are going to use the Groq API key. Now the Autogen code start from here. We import the Autogen, then we import the user proxy agent. As I mentioned, user proxy agent is the gateway through which human is going to interact with our system. Okay, and then assistant agent. So there are multiple assistant agent. Okay, and this assistant agent grouped by the group chat manager. So these are the model I'm going to use, so that need to mention in the config list. The model I'm using, it's llama 3-8b. Okay, as you let me show you here. So I'm going to use this llama 3, which is a by default model coming here. This one is the by default, but you can use any other model if you want. Llama is also release the vision, so you can use the vision model also. Even there is a lava vision model, so you can play with that. But currently we are dealing with only text, so I'm using the simple llama 3 8 billion parameter model. Now once done that, we have to mention some configuration of that, the seed, temperature, and the timeout. So you can see it's executed correctly. Now this is the user proxy and the assistant agent. I already explained you what is the purpose of proxy agent and the assistant agent. this is what the task that I want my model, this framework supposed to be executed. So written, so here I have written the prompt. What is the prompt? I have written that as an architect you are required to design a solution for the following business requirement. So the requirement is what? The data storage is massive for amount of IoT data. Then I want real-time data analytics. Then I want the scalability. I want the region pair in Europe for the disaster recovery. The timeline is 6 months, and I am asking that break down this problem using the chain of thought approach. So basically, who don't know what is chain of thought, it is a very simple to understand. Whatever problems you are giving, you just break down into the step by step, okay, and try to solve the step by step. This is nothing but the chain of thought. For example, if you're thinking anything, like let's say if you think that I am able to crack any particular exam, for just I'm saying, so how you are going to plan? You just first try to understand what the exam pattern, then you try to understand when exam is going to held, what is the resources is required to crack the exam. Then you collect the resources. You need to then check, is there any particular classes or tuitions or any coach is available nearby. Then you talk to the expert, then gather resources, then you plan the study, and then accordingly you execute, right? So our brain is in such a way that our brain works in a in thought of, chain of thought. So similarly, we also want that agent should work based on the chain of thought approach. So it will break down and try to build the solution accordingly. So this is the task. Then we have the chat prompt. In the chat prompt, then sorry, the cloud prompt. So as I mentioned in my diagram that, so this is the task. Let me go back here. This is what the user requirement is that, and now I want to write the prompt for each cloud architect, open source architect, and the lead architect. Now let's go back. So here I have written the prompt for the cloud prompt. So what I have mentioned here, you are expert of the cloud architect. You need to develop the architecture proposal, okay, using the either cloud specific platform as a service, then cloud agnostic. The final proposal should consider the Azure, AWS, GCP, and many things, and blah blah. Okay, and then you need to summarize. I want this cloud prompt to be executed along with the task that I have given, so I appended my prompt with the task. Similarly, we have to write the prompt for the OSS architect, and again we are saying that you are an expert of the on-premises open source software architect. You need to develop the architecture without considering the cloud solution. Only use the open source framework that are popular to have lots of active contributors, and then you need to solution summarize the solution using the table. And then finally we have the lead architect. So the work of the lead architect is to take the inputs from the cloud architect, then take the inputs from the source open source architect, then do the review of all these things and give your and choose the what is the best solution according to the business. So this is the prompt for your lead architect. And then we also again appending our lead prompt with the task that we have mentioned earlier. Now this is the specific prompt we have written for my each agent, and here the code start from the Autogen. So we are using user proxy agent method in which we are passing the name of my user proxy agent. I mentioned the supervisor, then system message is that you are the head of the architecture. Then last message, so there are some parameter we are going to mention, working directory, so where everything is saved in the group chat. Then Docker, if you want to execute, now this is not the code, right? But if you want to execute any code, then we can mention as this as a true, so that after the code generation this code will be executed in Docker. But currently this is not required, and I mentioned the human input mode is never, so we are not allowing any inter between any human input. But in the practical use cases you may require the human needs to be intervened between whenever the agent conversation is happening. You can mention as a always. So every time whenever the one agent is done, your uh, whenever the human is done, then whenever the agent is executed, then human will intervene, review, and then again he give the input, so next agent will execute it. But currently mention the human input mode is never, so that there is no human intervention in between. After that we have, so we mentioning the, now we are going to create the assistant agent for each. So for the cloud agent we are creating this assistant agent. I'm mentioning the name of this cloud agent is cloud, then system message is cloud prompt that we have defined already earlier, and we want this something needs to be performed by LLM, so we are also giving the LLM configuration. Similarly, we initiate the OSS agent. This is another our assistant agent. Name is OSS, system messages, OSS prompt, and LLM. Similarly, our third assistant is a lead agent, lead architect, and we follow the same practice. Now you can understand we have the three agent. One is a proxy agent and three assistant agent, right? Now we want to specify how we wanted the transitions to be happen between your uh, OSS agent, cloud agent, and the lead agent. So this is simple Python code I have mentioned here. So for example, if my last speaker is a user proxy agent, then I want my cloud agent to be written. If my last speaker is a cloud agent, then I want my OSS agent should be performed. If my last speaker is OSS agent, then I want my lead agents to be performed. And if my last speaker is a lead agent, then I do not want anyone to be go ahead. So this is something that I want how my transition to be happen within the agents. Then after that, we going to mention the Autogen. Okay, so this is a group chat. In the group chat, I need to mention what are the agents I'm going to play with that as a list. Then message is empty, max round is 6, so I want this whole round to be performed 6 times. Okay, maximum 6 times is to perform. Once the 6th round is completed, then you stop it. And I want how the speaker selection happen, so I mentioned the function name called as a state transition. So there are some by default selection method is also available called as a round robin and many other. You can check the documentation if you do not want to use your customized transition, so you can use the default one. Then I mentioned, so once the group chat is done, then I want to initiate the group chat manager where we are passing the group chat uh, group chat things. Okay, and then LLM configuration. So I'm going to use the llama 3, so I mentioned this configuration, and then here we can initiate the chat. So for the initiating chat, we need to first talk to the user proxy and call the method of initiate chat. Then there is a manager we need to mention, so we are using group chat manager. There are different managers available, but currently I'm not going to talk in this video. Maybe we can, I have the another video, we will mention the different managers available, but currently we are using the group chat manager. And the first message is that the provide your best architecture based on the business requirement, and then execute. After the some time, this code is executed, and now you can see how the output is look like, right? So this is our message: provide the best architecture based on the business requirement. The speaker is cloud, right? Because user proxy pass this information to the cloud and the cloud is initiated. Then this is the cloud architecture proposals. You can see how this architecture look like. It mentioned the and also is breaking down the chain of thought approach as I mentioned in the prompt. It first mentioned the data storage, second is the real-time data analytics, scalability, cost optimization. Then we have disaster recovery, monitoring, and the observability. And then we have architecture proposal, something like that. And it also mentioned the what is the timeline, right? So requirement gathering requires 1 month, architecture implementation testing for 2 months, deployment testing for 1 month, and blah blah like this. And then it is given the conclusion. Once this done, that it will pass to the OSS, that open source software architect, and it also break down something, and it also gives the proposals and the timeline for each, right? And then conclusion. After this will be passed to the another agent called as a lead architect, and it will also review and give their inputs. Okay, and this is the recommendations. Okay, so what recommendation is that your solution has some strong point, and with the some careful planning consideration and disadvantage, I believe that the good options for the organization. Okay, now the output is vary based on the what prompts you are giving and also what kind of information is giving, because at the end this is generated by the LLM, so it is mostly depend on what kind of data and the prompt you are providing. Okay, and then finally the summary. So data storage, it is saying that open source option is good. For the data storage, it is saying something like this: real time, scalability, and many softwares it is suggesting. So again, your output varies based on prompt and what model. So currently we are using llama, maybe if you're using GPT, the output may varies depending on the what model and what prompts you are giving. So I hope you understood how these agentic frameworks work together. You with the just single input, you have many agents and they can give the output, right? So I hope you understood. You like this. I will provide all the resources so that you can download and play with this book. Thank you so much. See you soon in the next session.